Hello out there! So today we're taking a look at the 1989 Batmobile done in 1/24 scale by Jada Toys. Now this doesn't transform, it doesn't really fit in with most of the things that I look at on this channel, but I'm a big fan of this car design, and there were a couple things that I noticed were lacking in some of the reviews that I saw on it, so I just wanted to put those together in this video. But anyway, let's just take a quick look at it. Now, it is die-cast, so the majority of the body is metal. The cockpit, some of the swinging panels, the undercarriage is all made of plastic, of course, but the main body is die-cast. And it does feature plenty of molded detail, some of which is painted. But it is a retail product that you can find, on your shelves at Walmart, Target, I don't know, plenty of places, I'm sure. So things like these tail lights, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them, but it is just kind of a cheesy painted red. Same thing in the front, and I've got a little paint slop there. But in terms of molded detail, it is definitely pretty nice. Now, if you look in here in the intakes, and let me get a flashlight so hopefully I can show you a little better what I'm talking about. There's no grill or anything like that, so that's something that your higher end collectibles will have. This doesn't, but I intend to put a little piece of mesh in there to kind of make up for that. But anyway, that's me. The cockpit does slide open, and it has a fairly nicely detailed interior, including some gauges here, as you can see there. So pretty nice. And the thruster, the jet engine, it does open. Not a whole lot of detail. There's absolutely no detail on the walls of it, but the engine's not too bad. And then it does have these rotating machine guns. So as these Jada Toy 1/24 scale Batmobiles go, this is a pretty well featured toy. It has a lot of stuff that the others don't have in terms of little gimmicks and such. One thing they all include is a appropriate Batman to go with them, and this little guy is all die cast, so there's no articulation whatsoever. The head is sort of a softer rubber. It's one unit with the cape, and then it just plugs in the back right there. I am going to remove this printing, and then my guy also has a wonky eye I need to remove and repaint, as you can see there. But that's okay. The eyes are actually a little big, so I think he'll benefit from having those removed, and then just a little slit of white to show where the eye is. Now, there's not too many complaints about this. The figure is a good solid 3 inches, which in 1/24 scale is a 6 foot tall person, so that's about standard. But the car itself, I have to say, is very disappointing. This vehicle, the prop, has a length of somewhere between 230, 260 inches, something like that. Either way, it should be about 10.5 inches long, and this is only barely 9. So it's definitely smaller than it should be. In contrast, if we look at this Mustang, this is of course Wheeljack from the Alternators line. This is a 188-inch long car, and he's clocking in at about 8 inches, which is pretty much right on for a 1/24 scale. If we set Batman next to him, you can see that's a pretty good combo there. You can tell that the Batman is properly sized, but the Batmobile is not. And if that didn't convince you, if you look at these seats here, as soon as I opened it, I saw the problem. If you look at Batman compared to that seat, you can see that it's almost comically undersized. In hand, it really leaps out at you. But even if he was articulated, there's no way he could fit into this cockpit. Basically, if you display him like this, I think he looks great. Batman standing next to it, cockpit open, or closed, however you want to do it, looks good. But, and I realize it's a retail product, but one of the things that bothers me is the sliding mechanism, so it just leaves this huge gap. Now, one thing that I intend to do is install LED lights in this, and the first step on that is removing this bottom panel, which I've already taken all the screws off, so it just removes like this, set it aside, there we go. So if we look at the inside of the chassis, you can see, you can see where the cockpit slides. So what I'm going to do is just take some felt or a piece of black paper and glue it on the inside there. It won't make that much of a difference, just when you're looking at it from a distance, but up close it'll really fill this in. The actual prop uses a different mechanism, so there's no gap in the hood, and I don't care enough to actually go ahead and fill this in, but that piece of paper will really kind of fix that for me. Anyway, the main thing I want to do is add LED lights, and if you are also interested in that, I just wanted to show you what's going on. These tail lights are definitely a translucent or clear plastic. You can see the light kind of shining through, and then they've globbed some non-impressive red paint over the top of them. But it's definitely not too difficult to remove these. I have another Batmobile that I'm doing this on, and basically I'm going to clip these little pieces here, and then the whole thing falls off. Now you do have to glue it on this side, but the LED can sit right in this space and shine out and will actually look pretty good. The front ones, same thing. It's you can see the light kind of shining through there. It's translucent or clear painted yellow. I haven't determined that yet, but so it shouldn't be too hard to remove that. And if you look, this engine piece, it's all plastic, and it's all it's attached here, but you can easily drill this out to put the LED right inside so that you can have your flame effect. And despite the cockpit and everything, you can see there's really plenty of room on the inside because of the design. Between the front axle and the cockpit, there's several inches of space, and then likewise right behind the cockpit there's some room that you can put in a battery pack and some LEDs. So overall, it shouldn't be too hard to modify with some LEDs. Fix this up, do some other stuff, and really get it looking nice. Now, I say this, but the truth is, when I do these kinds of projects, they usually take me forever to complete. So we'll see how soon a video of that would be coming, but when I do finish, I'll throw something up just so you guys can see it. Now, I know that stuff is super weird, but if you modify and customize these, especially adding LED lights, which is a pretty popular thing to do with 124 scale cars and models, that's hopefully that information will help you. And if not, maybe it's just interesting. I don't know. What I do know is I thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the views, and take care until next time.